Hey YouTube, it's Grace, and today I just wanted to film a short video showing you guys what art supplies I use for making my paintings. I've had a lot of people ask me over the past couple years what paint I use or what canvases I use, either because they're just curious or they want to try it for themselves and want to make sure that they are using good quality products. So in this video, I tried to include pretty much everything that I would normally use throughout the course of making an entire painting. So starting off with canvases, I will typically use one of two brands. This one is called Master's Touch, and this one is called the Fine Touch. I've also ordered canvases off of Amazon before, and all of these I either get at a local craft store or online. For Minecraft paintings, the most common canvas sizes I use are 12 by 12, 12 by 24, 18 by 18, and 20 by 20, though I have done bigger and smaller, but those ones are the ones that I use the most. Once I've picked out which canvas I'm going to be using, I have to draw on the grid, and for that I use a pencil and a ruler, or sometimes a much longer straight edge depending on how big the canvas is. Once the grid is done, I almost always seal it with a thin layer of primer. This is just the most boring basic wall primer that we possibly had in our house, so you definitely don't need anything fancy for that stuff. But I'll just paint that on with a bigger brush, and it just kind of assures that the pencil won't smear or turn any of my other paint gray. After the primer has had plenty of time to dry, it is time to start painting. And the paint that I actually started off using was the cheapest paint that you could possibly get from Walmart, which was the Apple Barrel brand. And they do still sell it there. It's super cheap. It works, but it is pretty thin in some colors, especially like yellow, I've noticed. So I would have had to add a lot of coats of paint to get the look that I wanted. After I'd been doing commissions for a while and I could justify spending more on paint, I had switched to these two brands here. I think Liquitex and Master's Touch, which is the same brand of the canvases that I use, and I found that these brands are pretty similar. They are a lot thicker and I don't have to add nearly as many coats, and I really like the texture of those paints better. Since these paintings take me several days to complete, I needed to find a way to keep the paint from drying out. So what I used to do, I would paint with like paper plates as my like painting palette, whatever. And then when I was done, I would put it in the freezer. Life hack: if you freeze your paint, it doesn't dry out as fast. But I've since found a much more efficient way of doing that, which is getting these little tiny plastic containers. I found a whole bunch of them at IKEA and they were really cheap. Unfortunately, I live really far away from IKEA, so I can't buy more right now. But they have been so helpful, and I have so many of them filled up with lots of different colors of paint in my basement right now. For paint brushes, I just have this huge cup holder full of them, and the ones that I use either look like this or like this, and I get them at Walmart or any craft store that I find, and they come in like a big pack. I don't get the individual ones because those ones are kind of expensive, and also I butcher these after a couple paintings, so it's not worth spending a lot on for me. For paintings with bigger pixels, I'll use a bigger brush. For paintings with smaller pixels, I will use a much smaller brush. And I prefer the like angled ones so that it is easier for me to make straight lines and not bleed over into the next pixel. Also, no matter if I'm painting on the floor or on my desk or any surface, I always put paper towels underneath, because otherwise I will get paint everywhere and it is not fun to clean out. But that is pretty much everything that I use to make my paintings. I may make another video in the future showing the materials that I use to make my Minecraft jewelry or the metal stamped jewelry stuff that I also have listed on Etsy. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment below, but I'll probably just do it anyways because I'm running out of video ideas. But that's it for this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you in my next one. Bye!